Welcome back to the Crypto ZX channel, to the Kronos family. Let's take a look at what's happening with Kronos as of October 22nd and really analyze and understand, what we're looking at and what we could be expecting going into Wednesday morning. At this point, I know people are frustrated, with the market conditions. Market is pretty much all over the place right now. Again, we saw a beautiful, beautiful bounce starting off Tuesday, but again, that was completely wiped out based off of, what we heard from Donald Trump in regards to tariffs once again. So let's take a closer look and see what's happening with Kronos, of course. But as always, just a quick disclaimer, anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in cryptocurrency. So the price of Kronos right now is sitting at about 14.47 cents. We're down about 0.5% on the USD side, as well as on the Bitcoin side. But if you're looking at the ETH side, we're actually up about 0.5%. So that is quite interesting to see. The valuation of 5.2 billion and the 24-hour trading volume only $30 billion. Looking at the Bitcoin dominance, I did obviously highlight this in my HBAR update if you did end up watching it. But like I said earlier, I know some of you only watch specific coin updates. But one thing you want to be paying attention to is how the dominance is continuing to increase. So let's go back down to October 14th. After that major liquidation, we did see the dominance plummet quite sharply. We actually came down to here. Let me pull out the charts again. Something glitched here on our end. So you can see for yourself, we actually came down to 58.94%, but you could clearly see since then, over the last 1 week, the dominance is on this upwards trend. So again, this is going to have a negative impact on altcoins, believe it or not, and that's exactly what we're seeing happening right now. But as far as Bitcoin is concerned, this is insane. And you can see for yourself, we were in the 23.6 fib zone just a few hours back. But again, like I said, this is where, let me actually highlight this for you guys. I personally think we could have actually seen the price of Bitcoin closing in the 23.6 yesterday and going into Wednesday morning. That would have been great. I think we would have held off based off of this major move. But this right here is where the tweet came out. And obviously, he said this live, but, this has really gotten, viral on crypto Twitter, which of course has had an impact on the market. And obviously the market makers are really going to take advantage of that. And you can clearly see a 7% increase for Bitcoin, which is a very, very impressive move. All has been wiped out. And that is a very, very, interesting to see right now, and really should tell you the market sentiment that we're seeing and the condition of the market that we're in. But again, as I highlighted in the previous update, we still have a lot of time in the month of October. I still think a lot can still end up happening. So we're not writing it off. Maybe you still see the price of Bitcoin pushing back above 117, and maybe we do see a close above 120. Who knows? We'll see what happens. But right now we need to be looking for confirmations, and definitely the confirmation is nowhere near us. We need to be the 23.6 bare minimum, and then above the 117. That is confirmation level 1. But let's take a look at what's happening with Kronos price right now for you guys. Let's take a look. So if you're looking at the price of Kronos right now, it's still remaining above the key support line. So that is good, of course, but let's take a look at what kind of impact it had when Bitcoin went up about 7%. So if you want to know, Kronos actually, so I did mention this in my HBAR update. HBAR actually retested a new higher price point compared to yesterday, but Kronos was unable to do that because on October 20th, Kronos price went up to 15.6 cents, and today, after having a nice bullish bounce for Bitcoin, you still did not see Kronos breaking above that key range. So that is something interesting to kind of keep in mind. So are we about to see a little bit of a lag on Kronos side of things? Because this is something that you don't really want to be ignoring, because like I said, a 7% move for BTC is quite an impressive one. You should have really seen Kronos breaking at least, above our, October 20th level, like something we saw with obviously HBAR. But right now, obviously, we got to look at, the bright side. We're still above the key support line. Great to see. As long as the price consolidates within this range, I have no doubts for the price to, start heading up to some of these levels where we were just about a week ago. So I don't, have any doubts in terms of that, unless, of course, we drop below the support, then that's a different conversation. But that's not the conversation to be having right now, because the price has been claiming above this key range since October 17th, which again is very interesting because October 17th is when we saw that, $103,000 retest for Bitcoin. And since then, Kronos has been on this upwards trajectory. And what's very impressive for me here right now is After reclaiming back above this key support line, the price did not drop below. Very, very nice to see. And again, giving us more confirmation that, hey, you know what, this is a very important support line for Crow, because you can see for yourself, we got supported here several different times after that, once being done just about a few hours back. So, you know, keep an eye out on Bitcoin right now. You know, the 24-hour trading volume is quite low, but to be quite frank with you, retail interest is very, very low as well. There's not much hype right now. Not a lot of order books are, you know, they're not, you know, thick. They're just very thin, like a lot of thin order books. No one's really interested, and that should really give you overall sentiment of the broader market, which we've been obviously talking about, and kind of, you know, if you look at Bitcoin, kind of sums it up. But let me know in the comments what you guys personally think. Of course, I'll keep you guys covered. Don't really focus on you know, the higher time frames right now. You know, we want to be breaking above obviously our October 12th level first and foremost, and then we can start looking at some of the higher levels. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. We'll see you later in Crypto ZX, and peace out.